Hey everybody, Tony Biggert here. Truck camping golfer. Yeah, I'm on the rim of the world highway. And I stuck my phone out the window to show you what it looks like from my view. But that's not why I'm here talking to you. I want to talk about the American crow. And I will. How important that is to me. You get a lot of time to think when you're driving on hairpin curves, and seeing people pulling off to witness great views together, posing in groups, take a big old group selfie. And me, I don't pull over when I see that. I wait and find a pull-off section that doesn't have anybody there, hopefully. Or I'll find my own that has privacy, dispersed. These are words that are part of my vocabulary. Remote, desolate. There may be reasons behind all that, I think it has something to do with protecting some part of me from connections. And the farther I can get away from, the tangible connections, the human connections, the better. I know there's something wrong with that. And I can feel there's something wrong with that as I'm doing it, because I feel the tug. I think it's in the human psyche. It's an instinct, very practical instinct, that we must connect. If we don't, we'll never propagate the species, and the ones who did connect, that's in their genes. And I'm one of the people who, have those genes, because I'm a human. I think the reason why I avoid it is, for some reason, I'm a wimp. I don't like feeling loss. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. And you can't feel loss if you're not connected to anything when you separate, because you're not separating. That said, I still feel the tug to connect. So I ended up finding an overlook that was kind of desolate. It was a tough little turn to get there. Kind of risky with these Californians. They just zoom. There's so many cars on the road. Even up in the mountains. Probably they're getting away from the heat. It's February. It's getting hot down there. I think there's a heat warning today down below. So they're all racing up here to just breathe in the air together. Together! So I did zoom in between two cars, and I was alone until another car zoomed in between two cars, like right after me. Probably saw me going in there. Said, hey, people want to connect, right? So, and then they get out, two guys. They want to take selfies of each other on the, and one guy says, yeah, my partner here, he wanted to find a spot really right next to you, I guess. Like he was being sarcastic. Like his partner wasn't very considerate. And I laughed and said, yeah, it looks like it. But they just got their selfies and left, and it was just me. And then, another facet of this being alone, the rub, there's a rub to all this. People are jealous of me in some ways, oh, I wish I could do what you're doing. But even when you get to where you think you want to be, perfectly alone, which is what you love, right? And you see something like a view, you want to share it with somebody. You want to say, look at that, but there's no one to say that to. And that's when it happened. A crow. One of them swooped down. It's kind of dropped down, riding the current, and landed below me, actually, in a tree. way above everything. And I felt a calm comfort kind of come over me. And I know why. The familiarity that you miss. Not only do you miss connections, but you miss familiar sights. You could be alone in the same place, and you get to see the same landscape every day, and you bond with it. And when you leave or when you move, you miss the mountains, like you know the shape of your mountains in Alaska. You gotta get used to other mountains when you move. Well, I've been doing that every day. I haven't stayed in the same place hardly for one day, more than one day. The only thing that's been constant, the only creature has been a crow. I've seen an American crow every day. And they're in every state. There's a reason for that. They're in every city, every town, every hamlet. And this one today sat with me. And we both just looked over the view together, and I felt all the connection I needed, I felt right there. Thank you, crow. And I left right after that. And now I'm flying in my taxi, taking tips, getting stoned. I actually don't get stoned anymore. That's in another video. It's been years, decades. But you know, I'm feeling pretty good. I got my connection for the day. I'll see a crow tomorrow too. Whoa, if I don't wreck on these hairpin turns first. That little snippet of a song I sang about flying high in my taxi, that's from Harry Chapin. Great storyteller. Songs. Through songs he told stories. Cats in the Cradle. My mom, who is from the old country in Ireland, she had her Irish jig records, we used to call them. They were 78s. She liked Cats in the Cradle. My favorite song turned out to be Taxi. And I won't sing the whole thing, but I'll sing the part I like. You know, he got a lonely guy, you know. You have to listen to the song. Hey, I can pull over here to the slow lane, let people... Oh, man, there was a small cougar on the road there. A lot of things happened at once. It was dead. It might have been a bobcat, but it was definitely a feline. Pretty coat on it. Anyway, yeah. Back to Harry Chapin song. It's about this guy who drives a taxi, and you know, he's just a working stiff. He picks somebody up on some rainy night, looks in the mirror, and it's somebody he knows, somebody he used to know really well. And they kind of recognize each other. And I'll pick it up from there. You know, they had some small talk. Well, there was not much more for us to talk about. Whatever we had once was gone. So I pulled the cab into the driveway, past the gate and the fine trim lawn. And she said we must get together, but I knew it'd never be arranged. Then she handed me $20 for a $2.50 fare. She said, Harry, keep the change. Well, another man might have been angry, and another man might have been hurt, but another man never would have let her go. I stashed a bill in my shirt. And she walked away in silence. Strange how you never know. But we both gotten what we'd asked for such a long, long time ago. You see, she was gonna be an actress, and I was gonna learn to fly. She took off for the footlights, and I took off for the sky. And there she's acting happy inside her handsome home. And me, I'm flying in my taxi, taking tips, getting stoned. I go flying so high when I'm stoned. So there it goes. Like I said, I don't get stoned anymore, especially when I drive. I used to drive a taxi though, so I kind of relate. Anyway, I like those kinds of songs. It's no coincidence, because what I was just talking about before, that need to connect, but for some of us that pull away, that pulling from being connected, that we do it for various reasons, and then that tug, we get tugged back in. I don't know. Isn't life, isn't it time for me to shut this off?